Okay. So Gilbert Arenas got arrested along with 4 or 5 other people. Right? The news came out. And let me just, it was like breaking news. Gilbert Arenas and 5 other defendants, including a suspected high-level member of an Israeli transnational organized crime group, they were arrested today on a federal indictment alleging they operated an illegal gambling business in which high-stakes poker games were being played at an Encino mansion Arenas owned. Now, when this happened, people were like, this nigga is cooked. It's a federal indictment. By the way, to be very accurate, and I reviewed it, and we're going to do a little bit more in-depth review of it right now in a second, but this was filed at the beginning of the month in July, but it was sealed. They arrested one guy, and they had him on a sealed indictment, and they didn't unseal it until a few days ago, and then they arrested the rest of the guys. Why? That first guy was the main target, not Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas was then subsequently arrested because he was on the indictment. I'm going to give you the breakdown of everything that happened and also some of the things I believe that probably took place in it. Now, before I get to that, when this happened, a lot of people chimed in, including Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown has had a back and forth with Gilbert Arenas over the years, and this is what he said in reaction to Gilbert getting arrested.
Bipping and bapping, he a drunk, he a this, he a that, talking about my mama, my family. And I told people one thing. I said, this nigga is a stupid motherfucker. He gonna self-sabotage. He's a dummy. And look at this stupid motherfucker. Let me close this door. And today is like my motherfucking birthday. Y'all motherfuckers lucky I don't drink. Bitch, you said I was a drunk. I don't even drink. I don't even drink no more.
No more.
I feel so good. It's like my motherfucking birthday, nigga. Shannon Sharp, your thick tongue ass fired. All the motherfuckers that talked about my mama's son, nigga. Shannon Sharp, your thick tongue ass fired. Goddamn Gil, you in the slammer. You got there, if you run your mouth, see you facing about 15 years, 5 years on each charge, right? But your dumb ass was playing cards.
Gilbert's not going to jail. I'm going to tell you that already.
With the Israeli mob. So now you're going to have to make a decision. You can't snitch.
Yes, you can.
Because your dumb ass say you know chill Gil, so you can't chill. So you gotta fight this one out. You gotta go for what you know. You can't snitch. So the feds gonna put pressure on your little bitch ass because they know you don't want to be up in themselves doing the little ditties. Take that. So your bitch ass can't tell on them Israelis. Them motherfuckers got so much money. Hey, I know what your bitch ass gonna do. You gonna tell and have that lady Millie or whatever her fine ass Melly. You gonna have her cranking up the car and shit. Melly, go out there and crank up the car, baby. Oh, punk ass. You ain't gonna stand on the front line and crank up the car you goddamn self, you punk. So listen here. We know you can't snitch. So you gonna be sold for the next goddamn 15 years, boy. Goddamn. All that shit you were talking. Now you fucked up Swaggy P career the first time. Swaggy P could have been a better basketball player than you. You was a dumbass veteran and you fucked up Swaggy P career. Now you done fucked up Swaggy P's second career. Swaggy P is one of the funniest niggas on the show. He crazy. Almost got in a fight with Kenyon. Now ain't no more Swaggy P. Man done fucked up Swaggy P's career again. Doing all this bipping and
Okay, now Swaggy P, Nick Young, did actually respond to that or respond to the arrest. Nick Young, Gilbert Arenas, and he actually said some shit that you wouldn't expect your mans to say. This was his reaction after he caught the fake case.
They got him. They got him. Oh, man. Hey. It's over, man. It's over, man. We stupid motherfucker gone, man. They got him.
Why is this so stupid?
God damn, man, we just got out, man. I just got out, man. I do fingerprints and shit, man. They just got us, man. Hey, but don't worry. Don't worry about the show or nothing. Gilbert, don't worry about Gil's Arenas. I got that now. We might as well just change the show to Swaggy's Arena. And in conjunctions with Gilbert. We're going to put a little Gilbert sign on the side. It's still Swaggy's Arena until you come back home. And once you get out, it's back to you. But for now, I got it. I got that. All right? It's just, welcome to Swaggy's Arena, y'all. In conjunction with Gilbert's Arenas. We're going to have just your name on the side. It's still going. And don't trip. Because where you going?
By the way, Kilo. By the way, everybody on YouTube, y'all got to start liking the video, man. Drill told me, we be having 20 times the views as likes. Not a good look. Not a good look. Make me look like we bought. Ruger at Thing for the 5 gifted. Kilo says, are you going to address how Adam marked out Big Homie Whack? Whack thought he was bigger than the program. I'll address whatever. I'll put that on the table. Just send me the videos, okay?
You can be comfortable. They got TVs. I'm going to send you all the updates. You can make all your bets on Underdog. Do whatever you want. You still there. You know, I seen you know, the feds, they let you chill. You can have some shoes. I seen you the latest Gil's Arenas, the Adidas. I'm going to send you all those. You're going to be flying that shit. But look, when it comes to the show, I got it. Don't worry about nothing. So when they bust in, I say, oh, shit. Oh. Whatever he did it.
Yeah, with friends like these.
Whatever they said he did it. Yeah, man. Got his stupid ass. And that's my brother, too. I love him. But he's stupid. Shit. When I seen that shit, I said, nah, man, what the f going on? I was looking around like, damn, so, alright, so what we gonna do? This nigga f***ing up the money. So, called Underdog and said, Underdog, don't win the trip. He still could make his picks. Well, you know, they got TVs in there. He can make his picks from his cell. I'm gonna send him all the latest, you know, Ja Morant's and the Lakers and all that shit. He can wear his Luka Doncic. He can wear his Luka jersey in the cell while he making bets. The coldest gonna do it, boy. Oh man, I love him, baby. That's my dog. Damn, little D-Lo. Little D-Lo. Might as well be D-Lo. Shit. You know.
Man, this nigga saying he spent a lot of time but saying nothing. Shout out to you, Swaggy. People get to the fucking point. Okay, all right. So that happens, and I guess anticlimactically, Gilbert Arenas, after getting, you know, indicted and arrested and arraigned, he was actually released subsequently on $50,000 bond. This is him coming out of jail.
You better not.
Can't hold me, baby. They can't hold me. Hello.
Free.
Okay. He said, I'm back on the streets. This shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I just rented the house. I wasn't a part. Okay. So let's kind of get into what the issue surrounding this whole thing is. And by the way, he did make a video once he came back. He described how the police came and got him, or the feds. He said this.
You see, I gotta surround myself. I'm out on the block. I'm out. They can't hold me down. Huh? Hey, Kwame, what did you say? Roxanne, turn on the red light. Huh? Roxanne, turn on the red light. Yeah. Kwame, I see. Hey, boy, you on fire, boy. Hey, y'all said, boy, the boy on fire over there, man. That boy get all his views off another person. So I'm like, Roxanne, turn on the red light. So you can't entertain, huh? Hey, man, I'm happy to get your page back popping, man, because I just heard you just lost another one. Another one? Oh, come on, man. You gotta know how to maneuver. You know how to get. You can't even get out of YouTube jail. I got out of real jail before you got out of YouTube jail. All you gotta do is hit a button. What's up, chat board? Man, I'm not gonna lie. They had the house around it. They had the house around it. I was like, damn, 40 people. But it's a big crib, so I mean, I know they needed a lot of people because it was a lot. You know what I mean? It's a big house, so they had to surround the building. You feel me? But I'm back there. You see, I gotta surround myself. Oh, I'm out on the block. I'm out. They can't hold me down. Huh? Hey, Kwame, what did you say?
Okay, so that's what happened. Now, let me give you the lowdown and the breakdown with everything, and this is why Gilbert is a little bit unbothered by everything going on. Essentially, this is a drummed up case, and which, here's the thing, I'm actually surprised the feds didn't approach him before, but I think they did say they did approach him. And what Gilbert's not going to say, I'm going to say, because, and I haven't spoke to Gilbert, but just kind of knowing the law a bit, Gilbert, they wanted Gilbert to tell. He wasn't a target of the investigation. He was an ancillary part. He was the person who could definitely sink the other people. Also, the other people are not his mans. It's not him and Swaggy P that got indicted. The people who got indicted were some people he was renting his house to. So let me explain the case or explain the situation in general. He's charged, or they're charged with conspiracy of running a illegal gambling ring. What is illegal gambling ring? The illegal gambling ring is him having poker nights at his house. Apparently, he's into poker. There's many videos, many pictures. You could Google it. Gilbert Arenas playing high stakes poker. He's even been out of the country at the poker table. This is a picture of him here playing high stakes poker in the Bahamas. He is a poker player. He likes to play poker. Okay. Apparently, you know, it says Gilbert Arenas poker, whatever. You know, he's had these poker tables. And by the way, I got a poker table here. I just don't like, I don't got rich friends. So if I invite broke niggas over here, they're going to try to rob me. So I don't invite niggas at all. But if I had rich friends, I probably would have poker nights at my house. Now, here's the thing about this entire thing about illegal gambling. The federal laws in terms of illegal gambling are very interesting. You can play games at your house. You could wager. You could put money up in friendly games that involve gambling. That's not illegal gambling, people. What makes it illegal is if you start operating in the way of a casino. What does that mean? In the way of a casino, it means that you're taking what sometimes, you know, in poker we call sometimes, I think it's taking a rake off of every winning. So you're taking a small percentage, but basically for you hosting the games, for you having amenities, drinks getting provided, you know, sometimes with these poker games, they'll bring in chicks to massage you while you're playing poker, because sometimes it's a long session. They'll have valet, which, by the way, all of the games that were at Arenas' mansion had these things. You get what I'm saying? So that becomes illegal gambling. You're operating like a casino. Now, if you're just dealing poker with your friends, and here's the thing too, depending on how much money, it's not clear, and I try to read the federal statutes about it, it's not clear how much money, that it kind of makes it like, yeah, y'all not friendly betting no more, y'all are like going way too crazy. But these are guys are millionaires, or you would imagine people you know are millionaires. It's not exactly clear on how much money makes it like, all right, this is not friendly no more. But it is the fact that Gilbert Arenas supposedly, and his crib, the people were operating his crib, because again, he wasn't even actually there. But he would rent his crib out to these guys, right? Because they knew he was a poker guy. He would offer his crib up for rent for nights that other people could play poker with their friends. And he had a system already in place. Yo, we're going to get the valet. We're going to get the chick to like in bikinis to give y'all drinks. We're going to get the massage girl to give you massages. We're going to get this and third. And the way how it goes is that this is the rake back that you, or not rake back, but you take this, I think it's called rake. You take this amount off the top of every bet and it kind of covers for everything. That's how it works. Now, Honestly, here's the thing. I think the government was targeting this Israeli person, and however they could get him, they were going to get him. They're just getting him this way to probably try to squeeze him for some other shit, honestly, if you ask me. Gilbert gets caught up in it. They wanted Gilbert to snitch. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I kind of know this for a fact. They interviewed Gilbert Arenas, and Gilbert Arenas caught an extra charge because when they interviewed him, he lied to investigators, and that becomes a charge. When you lie to a federal investigator, you get a charge. So he got a charge. What I believe they would have said is that, Gilbert, we know it's your house, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're going to indict you as well, but if you cooperate with us, you're going to just basically go home on some probation, my nigga. It's not that serious. You're not the target of the investigation, but you could help us sink these guys. When Gilbert talked to them, Gilbert lied. So now they don't want you to snitch anymore because you're lying, right? So they basically get him afterwards. So they get the main guy and they get Gilbert afterwards. I do have the documentation here, and we're gonna read through it real quick. If you guys don't know, you still could go to theacademy.blog, theacademy.blog if you want to see any court filings or indictments or civil proceedings about whatever your favorite situations are that we normally covered. And the write-up on, the media outlets is that 4 other men were arrested, these guys, and they were accused of running the poker games, which featured Pot Limit Omaha, among other illegal games. They're accused of collecting a house fee. That's the problem, house fee, from those participating in the games and hiring women who serve drinks, provide a massage. Yup, these are things that you would get at a casino. When you're in a casino, this happens, but you can't do it for pay as a offspring to the gambling, because now it's like a gambling company. That's their business model. And they were offering companionship to the poker players. So basically they brought in escorts to suck their dick after they, you lost, right? Now, again, the person who they wanted is this guy, Yevgeny Jamash. I'm probably fucking up the word. He's a suspected organized crime figure from Israel. Now, it's kind of interesting. Remember, this is all political chat. This is way bigger than Gilbert Arenas. Okay, Gilbert Arenas is over there just cracking jokes on LeBron or whoever. It's bigger than him. U.S.'s relationship with either the Mossad or really just Israel in general, it's an ongoing fluctuating thing. For the U.S. to actually target this person from Israel without having Israel get that person for them kind of tells you a lot about their prospective relationship with Israel just on a global level in terms of crime. I'll just leave it there for now. So other people there's a guy who's involved in organized crime. It's an organized crime figure from Israel, but we have a good relationship with Israel. You didn't have to indict him on a poker game to get him. So they wanted this guy. They got him, right? Then these other people were arrested in connection, and they said he was accused of trafficking wins and losses, distributing chips, and whatever. All 6 men will appear in a rain downtown. Okay, so we all know Gilbert Arenas got let out. We now find out the indictment was actually delivered after a June 2025 grand jury. These were the people. This is the head guy. They usually put the head guy at the top. His name is Giora. That's his nickname. Then we have Eugene. We have Alyssa. Okay. We have YC. We have Gilbert Arenas. And then we have 2 other people who probably are very speculative and low-level people. So let's kind of go into it. This is how many pages? 24. It's not that long of an indictment, but let's get into it in terms of what it has to do with Gilbert Arenas. So they're saying that this is after 2021, but they're saying this went on until 2022. Okay, now it's very interesting. Think about this, chat. And this is what I'm saying, that this is something Gilbert Arenas did years ago. This is not some current behavior. They're saying this happened years ago, this conspiracy, right? They're saying that this Giora nigga, the one they wanted, this person, Gilbert Arenas, they all conspired with each other, okay, to operate an illegal gambling business. Now, here's the thing. They're saying that it's a conspiracy. Remember, in a conspiracy, everybody has to know. They're saying Gilbert Arenas clearly knew because Gilbert Arenas himself did similar things and knew that they were renting his house out for this elaborate gambling private night, but it was illegal since they were doing all these other stuff with it. Okay, cool. So then So they say defendant Arenas would rent out. Give me a second. Defendant Arenas would rent out a residence located on for the purpose of hosting these illegal games. At his direction, he would stage the house. So they're saying, so defendant Cats, and I guarantee Cats probably come underneath. Where's Cats? Where's Cats? Okay, no, he's right above. So they're saying that Gilbert Arenas would tell somebody named Cats, maybe like, I don't know, whoever, maybe an assistant, I don't know who this is, would stage the house to host the games and find co-conspirators to host poker games. So it looked like he was trying to have an Airbnb for poker games because he realized he has a dope pad that, again, they're probably going to list the property. And I don't want to get too much into Gilbert's business because I think he still lives there, but we could Google how much it's worth. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Gilbert's rich as fuck. He owns his crib, but these niggas will pay up to $30,000, $40,000 for a weekend, right? If they get to use your house. I'm pretty sure Gilbert doesn't have a shit ton of family that lives there. Like, I know he has kids, but they're probably either going to college or somewhere else. He doesn't have a wife from what I know. He probably has a girlfriend, but like, shit, they probably have other spots. So when you get to have a big ass house and you have it in an area that is well coveted, you might just go to your second house and let people rent it out for a weekend and you get like $20,000. That's some good Airbnb shit, except you're not rented out to niggas that's about to have a party. Because you rent it out to a bunch of niggas on Airbnb, they're gonna like, yo, if they can afford that, they're gonna have 300 people up in there fucking up your shit. You rent it out to some dudes who want to do some fly shit. All they want to do is gamble half the night and fuck some girls in your guest room. You lock the rest of the rooms up. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And you get paid 20 grand for a weekend? Fuck, why not, right? So, I guess that was going on. So, here we go. It says, these defendants, so these are the other defendants that's not Gilbert and his man's Cats, they would manage the games. And they would play Omaha, which is a particular poker game, along with other illegal gambling games at the house to profit off the operation. And this is the problem, right? So gambling at your house is not illegal. I gotta say that it's not illegal because I see Boosie say something, say blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, Boosie, you're admitting to a crime. Like, dice games are not illegal, but if you're saying that you're taking a fee, it is illegal. Don't get online and say, we all do it. That's not a legal thing, right? It's not saying, oh, that was a crime. We all be doing this shit. No, you're just snitching on yourself. So Boosie, I don't know if you saw what Boosie said it. Like, I was like, yo, Boosie, somebody got to stop Boosie from typing. Again, it's not about what you deem normal. It's what the law deems illegal. He says the Gilbert Arenas charge is bullshit. He said a poker game at his spot. That's not gambling. That's not illegal. And one off hands played. That's illegal. That's illegal. You can't turn a friendly commercial game. A friendly game with friends into a commercial business. If you're winning off the hands played, that's illegal. He says, what the fuck? That's the same as getting a cut off a dice game that's at your homes to millionaires. Boosie, that is a crime, my brother. You've just admitted to a crime. This is what I'm saying. Boosie gets online and says some shit. The feds are now going to start looking at you. You just admitted that you're doing a crime. If you're doing dice games at your crib and you're getting a cut, you're not supposed to say, bro, if you say to your friend, yo, I got the Lakers, and they say, yo, well, I got the Warriors, and one person wins and you just give them the money, this is a friendly game, cool. That is fine. Now, if you do that with a third party involved, or both of y'all submit y'all money to a third party friend and that friend takes 10%, that's illegal gambling. That's just really what it is. So you can wager with your friend, but so anyway, he says that's a cleaning fee. Yeah, that's a cleaning fee, and that's an indictment fee too. Okay, somebody gotta tell this to Boosie, please. So you know how many successful athletes, rappers, coaches, businessmen, and all call their friends over to fucking gamble? That's true. When I bought this house, I have a big ass it's like a man cave down there. Y'all seen, I used to film the at home off the records from it. It's a bar and it's like a pool casino area where shit, I have a poker table down there myself. There's nothing wrong with having those games at home. The problem is if I invite people over and I say every hand I'm taking $10, that's a problem. That's illegal. So these are ex-professionals who enjoy gambling as a hobby. This has been going on since the early 90s. This is another tactic to take us down. I'm not racist, but they're not going to lock up a white athlete entertainer for playing poker at his damn house with his millionaire friends. Now, I hate to be counteracting everything Boosie's saying. The targeted investigation is not Gilbert. They didn't pick on Gilbert. Gilbert got caught up in this because it happened to be his house. They wanted this guy who was an organized crime person that probably on a global level, they couldn't get Israel to indict or anybody else to lock up, and they couldn't have anything locally to lock him up on if he's organized crime guy. So they had to find something to put on him. The only thing they could find is illegal gambling. When they hit him with illegal gambling, they got to hit everybody else with it. Gilbert just happens to be in it. So Gilbert just got tired of him with some Israelis, if you ask me. Says, not racist, but so if it was a white athlete, I think they would, okay? Because again, they weren't targeting Gilbert. They were targeting this other guy. His name was on the poker table. Well, yeah, he was staging the whole thing. Get the fuck out of here. Them houses be for decorations. Every poker table I've ever saw at the house had their logo and name on it. Facts. Fight this, bro. Again, I think they're going to give Gilbert another chance to cooperate or doing something like that. If he doesn't... Wait, what happened? What are you talking about? What? All right. Did you hear about the murder conviction, the murder connection to this whole thing? Oh, well, hopefully I hear it. Someone said, Gilbert knows not to open his mouth about no damn Israel mafia. If they could get sent to Hezbollah with those pagers, y'all watch a whole documentary about that. They could get Gilbert. Okay. So, let me get back to the indictment. So cool. So these guys are running it, and they're saying there's a fee for the house that would charge either from each pot or a percentage of a fixed amount per hand, okay? You're going to see a lot of these defendants. They would invite other players. So they were renting out Gilbert's house. They would invite other players. Gilbert isn't really in most of this. Look, they would hire young women who in exchange for tips. So Gilbert wasn't even doing this. Gilbert would stage the house, but they would do all this other stuff. They would hire young women who would exchange for tips, who would serve drinks, provide massages, offer companionship to players at the house. The same guys would charge a woman a tax, so they would take part of what the woman got. That's a percentage of the woman's earnings for working the games. These defendants would hire chefs, valets, armed security for the poker games. So we're seeing Arenas is not even mentioned here. He's only mentioned for renting out the house. And this guy, who's Arenas' friend, would stage the house and then find co-conspirators, okay? So all they're saying is Gilbert knew what was going on. Defendant, whatever would work as a chip runner at the games, in the capacity would track the winnings and losses and distribute poker chips to players and pay employees, okay? Now, here are the overt acts. So they outline the conspiracy. The overt acts are these. And in every conspiracy, there are criminal acts and overt acts, usually predicate offenses and overt acts. So the overt acts is Katz texted Arenas whether he was still planning to doing your own game. Arenas says, I might throw a few games in my house, though, referring to the games that so Gilbert used to do it himself with his friends. Arenas texts Katz that the house would be available to host the games, the amount of rent Gilbert wanted. So he told him what amount he would want to rent the house, and the number of games he was planning hosting per week. While discussing staging the house, Katz texted Arenas a picture of a poker table with the words "The Lion's Den" printed on the table. Arenas texted the defendants a cat picture with the gold trimmer poker table with the words "Arenas Poker Club" printed on the top of the table with the image of a basketball player with a jersey labeled Arenas with the number 0. So it looked like they were trying to figure out how to design the house to look like an actual casino. They wanted the Lion's Den as that was going to be the name of their, gambling spot. And essentially, Gilbert sent back a picture saying, yo, I already got a poker table that says Arenas Poker Club. What's wrong with that? Arenas says his financial advisor was asking for rent for the illegal games, right? So obviously, Arenas probably didn't tell his financial advisor that they're doing illegal poker games there. He probably was saying, oh, they're renting out for a weekend to do friendly shit. And his financial advisor say, yo, we should get rent. It should be acknowledged that they're subleasing your house. Katz sends Arenas a text message saying that Arenas owed Katz $14,000 for tables and chairs as startup expenses for the house. Arenas texted the defendant he had the $14,000 for him. Arenas texted the defendant that he wanted a rake, right? Yeah, so he wanted a rake from the games. Okay, so this is where they get Arenas is at. So this is where they're saying Arenas knew about it and wanted parts. He said he wanted a rake from the games hosted there for his birthday. So he had a game for his birthday, and he wanted a rake for the games played there for his birthday, and he wanted to go to the mother of a deceased former lover. So some chick he was fucking died, and he wanted the rake money to go to that mother. Okay, they rent the house of the defendant, so now they meet the defendant. So in 2022, they Cass texted Arenas that Tornowski was ready to host the games at the house on Wednesdays. Then a couple days later, a week later, said that Arenas had spoken with Tornowski and that they were ready to start hosting the games there. The defendant sent over various contacts, a text advertising the game, tonight's a new place. So it looked like these guys were doing this illegal gambling stuff before, which, chat, you don't have to read between the lines. I could just say it directly here. The feds were watching this Israeli guy. They're watching him for years because that wasn't the first time he started doing it. It was the first time in 2022, top of 2022, he started doing it at Gilbert Arenas' place. So he even sends out a text, tonight we have a new place, right? So they've been doing this gambling shit. The feds been watching him, but now they move it to a new place. It says we're going to start at 8 o'clock. So Tornowski sent the defendant Cohen a text advertising the illegal poker game at the Gable House and asked the defendant to send players to the game. On February 16, 2022, the defendant Katz texted the defendant the gate code to the house. Okay, cool. He texted defendant Cohen a pay/owe sheet showing the amount of the rake, tax charge, expense incurred, and So this is how they're setting it all up. You're gonna see pretty much all of this is absent of Arenas, because Arenas basically he only wanted a rake to be charged on his game, but it doesn't. He just wanted to charge rent for renting the spot out. But to get Gilbert in this, they're going to show that Gilbert has a pattern of doing illegal games, right? Because he's operating with rakes. Okay, cool. All right, cool. These are not people. This is not Arenas. None of this has to do with Arenas. They hire dealers. None of this has to do with Arenas. Arenas would know nothing about this. What I would imagine that they're squeezing Gilbert's arm for is, yo, we want all your text messages. We want security footages. We want any type of surveillance. It's your house, so you probably have info, maybe books that were left there that maybe had ledgers of who owes what or how much, blah, blah, blah. We need you to help take this guy down. They talk to Gilbert. Gilbert lies. They charge Gilbert for lying. We're going to see that as well. Actually, if we scroll up, this is page 9. Let's scroll back up. Gilbert gets charged with making false statements. So, making false statements. What the fuck? Somebody got marriage fraud? What? What the fuck? Damn. All right, let's see. Okay, we're at 9. All right, and then pretty much Arenas is not mentioned here. He's not mentioned here for a while. Okay. Okay, so there's going off the statute. So the count 2 is a conspiracy. Count 1 is a conspiracy. Count 2 is, what is this? Count 2 is okay, I could just Google it. Why didn't I just say it? It's an odd indictment. Sorry. Oh, it won't copy and paste. 18 USC 1955 2A. 18 USC 1955 2A. Let's see. We'll see what statute that is. Okay, so it's just prohibition of illegal gambling business. So this is a gambling business now. So they got charged for conspiracy to commit a crime, right? Which is gambling. And then they got charged for the crime, gambling. Okay? So there's a conspiracy, then that. Then see count 3. Let's see 18 USC. Okay, so this is Arenas. He gets charged for lying to the cops or lying to investigators. So so they basically talk to him, and he basically, look, here we go. Ooh, On or about September 9, 2022 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California, in a petition seeking to return the funds seized by Homeland Security, right? So I guess Homeland Security seized money, right? From the master bedroom of a residence, right? In a matter of within the jurisdiction of the executive branch, Gilbert Arenas made the following materially false statements. So for whatever reason, they did a raid or did somehow got money from the master bedroom of Gilbert Arenas' house. Now you have to imagine having cash in your house. This is why it's always like kind of skeptical. If you do illegal shit and you have money, when they seize the money, you got to make sure every dollar didn't come from illegal shit. Even if you have a legal business. So Gilbert Arenas could be like, yo, I have $100 million in the bank from basketball and podcasting. They're going to be like, but you do illegal gambling. How do we know the money's from there and not there? So when they seize the money, you got to go through a process of trying to get it back. So it looks like Gilbert got money seized. Did they say how much? They say how much? He was trying to get the funds returned. Okay. And basically the United States Customs and Border Protection, Gilbert Arenas made the following materially false statements and misrepresentation to United States Customs and Border Protection, knowing that the statements was untrue. He falsely stated that he was not involved in whatever was going on at the party. So that's what he said. I got no idea. That's what he said. Referring to the illegal gambling at the venue on July 19, 2022. In fact, he then knew that he had knowingly provided gambling equipment. Remember, his friend spent $14,000 to go get the equipment. They asked, and then he asked Arenas for payment for the $14,000 to stage this thing. It says and he also, they're saying he lied that he rented out the spot to be used to host illegal poker games, okay, and was collecting rent from the host, right? So they claim that's the lie, right? So he went to the cops and he literally said, when the cops interviewed him, or not interviewed him, because they didn't interview him. They didn't run up on him because the investigation was still going on. Remember, they didn't indict him until 2025. They didn't indict the guy. So they didn't want to make no type of, so the cops were moving really shrewd. They didn't want to spook nobody. So what they did, I don't know, this probably has to do something with some other shit. They seized the money from, Gilbert. Gilbert was trying to get the money back. In Gilbert trying to get the money back, they sat and talked to Gilbert to say, prove to us the money that you have is legit. This is a sworn, this is supposed to be, well, it's not under the penalty of perjury. Well, pretty much it is, damn near, because he's getting charged with it. But it's called lying to a federal investigator. They interview him to ask about the money. They said, is the money from here? No, it's not. He probably told them some other places from. So they ask him, this ain't gambling money, right? This ain't from, we know you play poker. This ain't from poker, right? And he's like, what? Poker? No. He's like, you don't be doing no poker shit, and this is not illegal money, right? He says no. He says no. So when he says no, they actually don't charge him then. They probably said, we're going to see. And I don't know if he got the money back. He's probably not going to speak on that. So they talked to him in 2022. They claim he lied. Now, I think they talked to him then to see if he's willing to flip. But if he's not willing to flip voluntarily, which means he would have said to the cops, yo, I give y'all everything. That's the nigga who did it. That wasn't his demeanor. He was like, what are y'all talking about? Huh? I don't know. What? Like, typical nigga. Because his demeanor was that they didn't want to torch their own investigation by saying, you're going to get charged, so snitch or else. They let him go. It's like a catch and release. Go ahead. Because they keep investigating for 3 years, right? So cool. So then they have another conspiracy, and this is 18 USC 371. Let's see what that is. 18 USC 371. Sorry. 371. Conspiracy to commit offense to defraud the United States. Okay. So this is probably because one of them is a international, citizen. And I think this is where maybe the marriage conspiracy comes into the play as well. Yeah, citizen of Israel. Yeah, so they're saying you're defrauding. Enter into a sham marriage. Okay, so yeah, they've been on this guy's head top for a while. They're saying this Israeli crime international figure got with a woman trying to, and by the way, they charge her as well, Kojo Shari. He tried to get citizenship. Now, you got to remember, they were probably watching this guy from a long time ago because they already are saying he's a organized crime figure in Israel. And he's coming over here doing illegal gambling and also trying to get his U.S. citizenship. So they were watching him for a while. So they get him with a fraud marriage as well. They're saying that he would provide financial support. So they're actually hitting him with a conspiracy, like, which is, you know, cool. Damn. Wow. Shit. It would submit to sworn immigration form concerning containing false statements. It would make verbal written statements. Okay. Defendants. Okay. Cool. All right. So here's the overt acts thing. Married. It said defendant sent defendant a check for this. Yeah. Yo, chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're just targeting this guy. They're targeting this guy. Like, they're not really trying to be like, oh, you did an illegal marriage. They're targeting this guy. You get what I'm saying? By the way, all of this happens in the same year, right? So the same year of all this happening is when this dude, he's doing illegal gambling. They're already watching him. He's in LA. He needs to figure out his status. Remember, this is when Biden's there. So, you know, the reason why he goes to LA is a sanctuary city. So you could be illegal, whatever. Nobody gives a fuck. So what they do is like, all right, cool. Let's make sure that we could get our citizenship before, you know, Trump comes in 2024. So he marries a chick, Apparently they're lying, all this type of stuff. They interview and they make this statement that they're living together at a residence, which they weren't, and blah, blah, blah. So, and then the count 5 is what? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a Trump initiative DOJ. This is a DOJ initiative agenda-like indictment. The agenda for Trump's DOJ is close borders, deport illegal immigrants, and weed out anybody who has a criminal background there are bad elements from other places coming here. This guy might have slipped through the cracks, so they indict him, add a couple other charges, and they're claiming that the bad thing he was doing, because they don't have him. Somebody said there was a murder connection. I don't see the murder connection. Is there? Yeah, USCIS. This is all. Yeah, this is citizenship shit. Yeah, they're saying like he basically just lied and blah blah and submitted false documents, and then yeah, he says, oh, there's a statement that says, do you intend to engage in illegal gambling of any form, or prostitution or bootlegging or the sale, blah blah blah, and they said no. But he knew then that he was going to engage in illegal gambling. So he lied on a form. Usually lying on federal forms, that's a charge. Kodak caught that when he bought a weapon and they asked, are you a convicted felon? And he actually checked the box that said no. They gave him the gun. And he said even though it was an error, or he said, have you been convicted of a crime that you could serve over a year? That's why Kodak went to jail, but Trump pardoned him. This guy, you clearly could tell, is not going to get a pardon, right? Okay, so there's another count 7. This is what is this about? Okay. This is more about, oh, you filled out another form. Yeah, these are petty things. But that's what I'm saying. This is a Trump agenda indictment. They think this guy is a potential terrorist. Okay, I know it says organized crime, but he's a potential terrorist on behalf of either Israel or some radicalized group. This guy is trying to come to the United States, get citizenship, and blend in, and they've been watching the nigga for a while, and they're saying, get the fuck on out of here. Okay? So forfeiture, I think they're gonna say they're gonna try to forfeit, and they're gonna try to send him back. Yeah, I don't know if he got citizenship, but they're probably, if the investigation was going on back then, they probably lagged his citizenship search, so he never got it, honestly. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so all the forfeiture stuff, and this was signed off on. This is the U.S. attorney. That's the U.S. attorney. Let's Google that U.S. attorney. I'm gonna tell you why we'll Google it. Bilal Isali. Yes, U.S. attorney. Cool. He's an acting U.S. attorney. Yeah, he started serving in 2025. Yes, you know, if you guys don't know, the U.S. attorneys are pretty much they're a branch of they work underneath the U.S. Attorney General under the United States Department of Justice. They're usually going to operate and carry out the mission of that administration. He gets put in place in 2025. ICE, borders, illegal immigrants, and all that type of shit is a huge thing for Trump. And yeah, this is, and you know, they probably identified this guy as a potential like criminal. They're getting him out of here instantly. Okay. Interesting. Right? Okay. So that's what it is. And by the way, this is probably why Maureen Comey lost her job in a Diddy case, because the guy who brought that indictment was a Biden guy. That was a Biden guy. So that attorney, U.S. attorney, was a Biden guy. He stepped down, okay? He stepped down at that point. Hold on, let me see. My dog food might be here. Hold it. Oh, okay. We'll look at that too. All right. So yeah, this U.S. attorney is probably like taking, you know, they probably have a list or a watch list of people who they're like, yo, if this person even fucking drives over the speed limit, let's deport this motherfucker. And that's how Gilbert Arenas got caught up in it. So if you ask me, Gilbert Arenas is, let's look at what he's really facing. Gilbert Arenas, line to federal agent sentence. Let's see, what does that actually carry? It could give you up to 5 years or potentially 8 years if you made, okay, so 8 years if it's crimes related to terrorism. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Crimes related to terrorism or sex offenses, but 5 years if it's otherwise. So line to a federal prosecutor, or not federal prosecutor, federal agent is 5 years. Okay, perfect. And then illegal gambling federal sentence. That's gonna do, okay, illegal gambling, okay, up to 5 years as well. But obviously these charges are headed up by conspiracy. Conspiracy is always gonna be like 20 years. We don't even gotta Google it. So the conspiracy thing, Gilbert is in that. I'm pretty sure they're gonna drop Gilbert. He's gonna take a plea. They're gonna drop, Mark, y'all can clip this. They're gonna drop him from the conspiracy. He's going to plead guilty for lying to a federal agent. He's going to either pay a fine, probation, or maybe some type of house arrest. They're not going to seek to incarcerate him. From what I know, he's not a felon, right? I don't think so. They're going to give him a firm slap on the wrist. And remember, illegal gambling is 5 years. Lying to a prosecutor, 5 years. The conspiracy is 20 years, or so the conspiracy for gambling is 20 years. They only want this Israeli niggas for it, and they're gonna take the Israeli nigga and kick him all the way back to motherfucking wherever the hell Netanyahu is from, and have them niggas over there fighting where they need to be. Leave us alone. That's what Trump is on. Leave us the fuck alone, nigga. Whatever the fuck y'all got going over there, nigga, y'all go fight over that bullshit. Leave us alone, okay? So that's what's happening, and Gilbert's caught up in it, but he'll be fine. Okay, no jail time. I'll be surprised if they even, because he's gonna plea out. Like, he's not taking this to trial. He's gonna plea out. Yo, all right, what y'all want me to do? Hey, check this out. Because you profited, that's what we're gonna say. You profited this amount. We do felt like you lied to us. We're gonna drop the conspiracy charge. We don't think you were in it with him all along, but you did do some illegal gambling. Plead guilty to the illegal gambling. Now, Gilbert's lawyers are gonna probably be good on this, because I think illegal gambling is gonna be a felony. I believe it's a felony, right? So if he's not a convicted felon, they don't want him to be a convicted felon. I don't know if lying to prosecutors is lying to federal agent a felony. I think it is. Okay, yeah, it is. So he's gonna have to. They're not gonna drop everything. So I guess he is gonna become a felon. But fuck it. He's gonna be able to still do his podcast and still do his thing, right? All right, so that's a Gilbert Arenas thing. He got out on $50,000 bond. You could tell that the prosecutors weren't even trying to push to hold him, right? The top guy here, this Gershon guy, they're gonna say this guy's an organized crime syndicate guy. Like they're gonna say that they're not gonna let him out, right? Yeah. Okay. They said Gilbert's already cooked. All right, if he's not gonna do jail time. Like I'm telling you, he's not the target of their investigation. And before he does that, I don't think he's gonna have to cooperate, but he's just gonna plea out. Okay. Okay. So that's the whole Gilbert Arenas thing. Shout to him. I'm glad he's out. Unfortunately, sometimes, you get caught up in some shit that, is it commonplace that a lot of people do gambling at their house? Yeah, I know a lot of people who do it. Is it sometimes people might sometimes people might have rakebacks or whatever, which is not legal. Yeah, because people don't look at it that serious, but technically it is a crime. Technically it is a crime. It's like, yo, I have a bar in my house. If somebody came over and I charged them for drinks, now it's legal. You get what I'm saying? So like I have a bar at my house and I have probably like $3,000 worth of liquor in there. So if I had 50 people at my house and now I'm like, yo, because I could have them tip the bartender, I can't have them buy alcohol. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like really little things that make stuff illegal. Like you ever been to a party and they'd be like, the liquor's free, you just got to tip the bartender? Yeah, that's legal. Now if they're like, yo, for a margarita, it's $10, you're technically selling alcohol, and technically you don't have a liquor license, and technically you're turning a residential property now into a commercial shit. Now you could go to jail. It's really like now is the government like looking around like, is everybody illegal gambling? Probably not. But if they want to get you or squeeze you for some dumb shit, they could get you for whatever. So I think he just got caught up in that shit, all right?